All right, if I can have everybody's attention, we'll go ahead and get started with the sharing portion of tonight's activities. But before I do that, a couple of things. The ornaments that were on your plate when you walked in, those are for you to take home as a little happy. So please do so. If not, then Molly has to take all those with her to the reception for tomorrow. Secondly, there is a Bible in the back, and we would like for each one of you to, before leaving, go by there and highlight your favorite Bible verse, and be sure to sign the Bible for Matthew and Anna. And I think that's all the announcements I had to do. So I'll get started, and then I'm not very good on making speeches, but this is my second one to do this year, actually. For those of y'all that know, my first son got married in March, and now my youngest son is getting married tomorrow to his beautiful bride. So I mentioned to Nathan earlier, I asked Nathan, I said, how old are you? How old is your daughter now? And he said 10 months. Is that right? Did he say that right? And just told him, I said, enjoy every moment of it, because before you know it, they're gone. And he said, yeah, I've heard that cliche before. And well, it kind of leads into where I was going with mine tonight. It really does. I can remember very vividly when I know, as I talk about my sons, I get a little emotional. But when Lori gave birth to Matthew, and we already had one son God had blessed us with, and then he blessed us with a second one. And I can only tell you that we were very proud parents, to say the least. And then I can remember Matthew playing his first t-ball. And a lot of this is going around sports, because this is what we did in our household growing up. I can remember him playing his first baseball tournaments and football and everything else. And we've watched him grow up to be a great, fine young man. Yeah. And anyway, we watched him go off to college, and we kept on asking, when's he going to bring somebody home, right? So we're waiting for that special person to come home. And I think Nathan Reynolds, where are you at, Nathan? Do you take credit for introducing these two together? Was that you that? Don't call them out. So, but we are, Matthew. We're very, very happy for you, and are really glad to see what kind of young man you've turned out to be. We can't wait to see what God's going to do with y'all together in this world. And then Anna, we are so happy to have you as part of our family. We love you so much, and just look forward to seeing you more and more, and having grandbabies one day, maybe, right? Whoop whoop. All right. So Matthew's already want me to give up the mic, and I'm willing to do that like any moment. So that's really all I have to say to start this off. But what I'll do is, if you have something you'd like to say, I'll bring you the mic, and if not, fantastic.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, it's called Get It Done. That's right, with my cheat sheet. Okay, but I want to thank everybody for coming. This is awesome, and I was trying to. I won't get all this right, but I'm pretty sure we have Texas and Oklahoma and Virginia. Tomorrow we'll have North Carolina, a couple of countries. Where's Gil from, Gary? Congo, and then Iraq, Kenya. So, yeah, I think their goal was to get all 50 states represented in several countries, but we're not going to get to all 50 states. So, but you made a good stab at it. And I just want to thank the Evans family. This morning there was an army of Evans family and friends here, just all over the place working, and I was just kind of standing, taking up space mostly. But I want to just thank them, and let's give them a round of applause for for the awesome event tonight. But I especially want to thank Mike, because you don't know the countless hours that Mike and I have spent texting and emailing and calling. We've been working we've been working this whole time, but lunch breaks and all, we'd Google table settings, and I'd send him a screenshot, and he'd say, "No, too much red in there. Let's try something else." So, give me that. It's a charger. Hey, I knew what that was because I learned it from my wife. But but you all know the truth is that Molly and Lori and Anna and a host of others that have just spent lots and lots of time working together and coordinating and a lot of hard work. And basically we've sat by and taken up space pretty much. So I want to shift gears and just talk briefly about Anna and Matthew. So, all right, Anna, I'm going to say a phrase and you tell me what comes next. Words have meaning. And Anna's heard me say that, I don't know, several thousand times, and our sons have as well. So I'm kind of particular about people using words that maybe they're using them flippantly or not really mean what they say or whatever. So I was thinking about the phrase, and they've heard me say this before, but people that just fall in love, or we fell in love. Well, we've encouraged them not to think that way, because really falling is when you're out of control. We saw, Molly almost fell today, Lori fell today. They were completely out of control. So when you're falling in love, you're really not, she was exercising as she ran into the wall. But, so I prefer the phrase, we grew in love. We grew into love. And I think, Anna and Matthew, I think have been a good example of that. And just to make a few observations over the time that we've seen their relationship, some time back, Anna and some others organized a charity golf scramble to raise money for Choose to Invest, the mission organization that she's been involved with, and the leaders of that group are here tonight. So as we were getting ready for the event, Matthew, of course I didn't know Matthew, but he was over there helping Lamar, who didn't know anything about golf, helping him. I don't know if it was on the driving range or putting green or what, but I thought, that's pretty cool that here's this handsome young man over there helping our son. I thought, wouldn't it be cool if somebody like that showed interest in Anna? And I sort of dismissed it, but I did recognize him in his effort to go outside of his comfort zone and his peer group to reach out to some little high school punk. You were high school at the time. And so fast forward, I don't know if it was later that year, but there was a gunman at Mississippi State, or a suspected gunman, and they basically locked down the campus. And we found out later, and I'm sure Anna has a different spin on this, but I believe the first person she called to see if they were okay was Matthew. And I thought, that's interesting that he's the first person she called. So this was, I think, maybe before you were dating. Okay, so they're kind of slowly growing into each other, knowing each other. So fast forward months later, weeks later at least, when they had been going out regularly, and Anna was on one weekend, but it still wasn't official. And I've learned to understand, are you on Facebook? I'm not on Facebook. But when it's Facebook official, it's the real deal, okay? So Anna was not willing for this to be Facebook official. And so we were having dinner one night, just Anna and I. So I said, Anna, so if you go back to school after this weekend and find out that Matthew went out with Susie or Betty Jean or someone, would you be upset? She said, well, yes, I would be. So I said, well, Anna, I don't care if it's Facebook official or not. It sounds official to me. So, all this was just a process of you growing into love, which was very cool to see. And so, Matthew, I thank you for being patient and patiently pursuing Anna, and during your courtship, and just being everything that we would want. So I thank you for that, and I will end on this years ago when Molly and I had just been married, I don't know, a short amount of time. We were at some event, and a father of a friend of ours, I'm going to get the details mixed up here, but he came up to me later and said, well, you married a handful. And I said, and of course, he was right. He turned out to be right. I did marry a handful, but she is awesome. I'm going to hold it together, I promise. So, Matthew, I'm just letting you know that you are marrying a handful, okay? Okay? But she is awesome. And we are proud to have you in our family, and so thanks.
Okay, who's next? I'll bring the mic to you. Uh-oh. Oh, Jed in the back. And Heather. Uh-oh, this ought to be good. You're going up there. This ought to be good.
We figured before it got too serious and anything, we would give some comic relief. So that's what we have planned tonight. If we get this, Nathan's in for the rescue.
Comic relief. White comic. You'll like it.
Oh, yeah.
We had to.
We're not ready. Hold those on. Okay.
This is from the DJ and H Money.
Twerk the halls and Mutindi.
Don't get your tinsel in a tangle. Do Vince. You're going to hold the lyrics so I can see them.
Twerk, twerk, twerk the halls. Starkville was home, that's where we stay. We got our degrees and we went our own way. We took all those trips, we had all them nights. From marshmallow wars to frisbee, all right.
Always stay focused in BSU to Memphis and volleyball. You know what we do. No beer pong involved and we got through all right.
We had all them trips. Wait, where did we go? Memphis, Atlanta, to Starkville, to Kenya, to Moss Point, to Destin and Canada. That's where we go.
All those memories we made and some inside jokes too. What are the odds with that New York subway crew? Sorry I didn't twerk, but you got the worm out of me. Head and Jether, that's together. Yeah, you know we rapping for you, girl. We coming for you. Got it going on tonight. Talking about our life. Hey.
You married, girl, you married. You married, girl, you married. Been a long way from the station with the roaches at night. Dressing like pirates, got our booty at the cream. Krispy Kreme booty, Krispy Kreme booty.
Shout out to the Christmas squad. Christmas is our holiday. Christmas lights and skating, jingle all the way.
Our bulldogs, they reppin'. Maroon Friday we wearin'. Tailgates we eatin'. Hail State, baby.
BSU is where it started. Manna all the way. Christian and flirting, but all this ain't no PDA.
Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, does not boast, bears, believes, and endures all things.
Praise the Lord, from whom all blessings flow. For this marriage he allows for us to bestow.
Yeah, we might be po, but our love gon' overflow. December 16th, a day to remember.
We gon' dance, we gon' eat, and give thanks to our King. Hashtag for Evans and ever. Let go.
All right, all I'm going to say is a tough act to follow right there. So who's going to be next? Who wants to talk next? That's hard to follow, but, oh, here we go.
Hello. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Becca, and I've had the privilege of knowing Anna for a little over 10 years now. So when we first met, she had just started homeschooling. All my homeschoolers? Oh, wow, okay, homeschoolers in the house, okay. So she decided to come and play and join our basketball team. And at the time, my dad was coaching. And after practice, on the way home, I told my dad, I was like, that Anna girl, she's so quiet. And boy, was I wrong. Because if we all know Anna, she is not quiet. So needless to say, we became really good friends. And I mean, there really are no words to explain how of amazing friend you are. And at the luncheon today, we spent quite a bit of time of everyone just going around, just talking about how much Anna has impacted their life, been there for them, and I can only just testify to that as well. And growing up, with you, you're always there for me. Always, no matter what. And I just remember thinking, no one will ever be worthy enough to have you as a wife. No one. And then I met Matthew, and the first time I met him, I just saw in his eyes the same thing that I have always seen in you. And that's just Jesus. I mean, you guys have always just shown Christ through your actions and your words. And to say that I love you guys is just an understatement. I'm so excited for you guys, and I just cannot wait to see what all the Lord has in store for you and to love you, and that's it.
Okay, who's next? Don't everybody jump up at the same time. Oh. Sorry.
It's okay. Oh man, thank you. I'm Hannah. I know Anna from Mississippi State. And just one of my favorite things about Anna is what? I know. Okay. Okay. One of my favorite things about Anna is just how, in our friendship, is just how we can have the most serious, deep conversation, and we can also be so weird and have so much fun. And this story always comes to mind of one time Hannah and I, all of our friends were just doing other stuff, so it was just us two for the night, and we were like, well, let's make breakfast for dinner. So we went to Kroger, and I was in a full leg knee brace because I had just torn everything in my knee, and Anna was in a boot because she had a stress fracture. And so we both got in the little handicap things and rode around Kroger forever and kept having to reverse, and it makes that obnoxious beeping noise, and everyone was looking at us like they hated us. And Anna told people that she had cracks in her shin because she thought she was being dramatic. But I don't know, I just think of, I'm just so thankful for those times, and how, like Becca said, you've just been with me through everything, and you're just always there for everyone. I'm just so thankful for your friendship. I'm just so thankful for how you and Matthew's relationship has been such a great example for Taylor and I. So, love y'all.
Okay, who's next?
Okay, I'm going to come over here so I'll fall down. So, I had to write mine down because my friends know that I'm a rambler, especially when I get nervous and people are looking at me. But I'm Sarah. I am Anna's maid of honor, and I have been one of her best friends for the past 4 or so years, and for the rest of your lives, both of you, because you're stuck with me forever. And And I just wrote down a couple of things. I tried to keep it short, but anyway, every once in a while, two people meet and they instantly are intimidated by each other. We met, and it wasn't this story of we were instant friends. We met, and it was just kind of like, oh, she's nice. And then we kind of kept going. I was like, this girl is so cool and so athletic, and she knows all the people. And I was this little peppy sorority girl who was just trying to make friends. And but so we just didn't necessarily hit it off from the beginning. We didn't know what to say to each other, and we didn't really have this big connection. But we worked a couple D-Nows, and we served on BSU lead team. But we didn't get close until we went on a spring break mission trip to New York City, and we were partners and spent the week getting into all kinds of mischief, from eating weird foods on a ladies' floor and learning to belly dance, to almost getting kidnapped and trying new things together. And we didn't decide to become best friends. It just happened. I'd never met anyone so real and genuine in her love for the Lord and for all the people around me. I think a common thread that everyone would say when they think of Anna is that she loves people in a godly and Christ-like way, in a way that's different than the world. And so, from marshmallow fights and smashing cans of Red Bull on our heads to deciding in a McDonald's to become accountability partners and just being real and vulnerable with each other. We have spent the past 4 years sharing our lives, our greatest joys and our deepest hurts and struggles together. Anna was not my childhood best friend. We didn't play dress up together. We didn't dream about our weddings as little girls. We didn't go to grade school together because she was homeschooled and I'm from a village in Mississippi. But we don't have any memories to speak of before the age of 18, but that doesn't matter because I feel like I have known Anna my entire life. We've laughed together, we have cried together, we've prayed together, we have smashed roaches together, we have tried weird sheep knuckle thing foods together, we have learned sign language together, we have been partners in crime and partners in ministry, and she is my fourth sister. I remember thinking that there would have to be one heck of a guy to pursue and to be worthy, like Becca said, to be worthy of Anna. And, well, then we met Matthew. So Matthew Patrick, as I like to call him. I know that's not his name, but it will forever be your name from me. I remember when Matthew came to Mississippi State, and he started coming after my girl. And from the beginning, it was just clear that Matthew was following after Christ in his own life, even apart from his pursuit of Anna. But he had to pursue the Lord to pursue Anna. And Matthew, you earned my stamp of approval. And I'm thankful for the Sarah, Anna, Matthew dates, or SAMs, that we got to share together. We should definitely have more of those. And you were patient and loving and there for Anna through her first relationship. And he included me, which was nice. You've taken such good care of her heart, and I know that she couldn't have dreamed of a more loving and servant-hearted man to stand by her side forever. I know that your marriage will not just bless the people around you, but it will bless the nations. And it is a marriage that builds the kingdom and is just a huge partnership in the gospel. The Lord has already used your relationship to bless my life. Just the both of you have been so special to me, and I know that you're going to be special. you'll continue to bless everyone around you for the rest of your life. So I'm happy for you both, and I love you both.
On my phone as well, because I know I won't get to say everything I want to say if I don't have it in front of me. But my name is Lauren. I'm married to Nate, who got the shout out earlier. I've known Matthew through him for many years, through our dating time in high school and everything. And then I met Anna as we got to Mississippi State and had lots of commonality in our kinesiology studies. So I'm so excited for you too, but I'm going to start by saying to Anna, I'm so thankful for the friendship I have in you, and I'm so thankful the Lord allowed our paths to meet with all of our common interests. It's been so much fun to see you walk the path the Lord has had for you in preparation for marriage. You have shown your love for the Lord in so many ways. Sorry, I lost my place. But one of the biggest ways that has stuck out to me in all these things is your obedience. I've seen you work so hard in school, and while doing that, you've served Starkville so well and the students of Mississippi State. You've been obedient and going to the nations to share his name. You have, as you had so many options to pursue physical therapy school, you prayed diligently over each one of those, and that was so just awesome to see, because she had so many options. They were all great schools, and I know that was such a hard thing to do. But she waited to hear from the Lord because she knew that he had a plan for her in all of that undecisiveness. So through all those hard things, it's been so evident that you've just allowed the Lord to use you for his glory. And I just want to say thank you for displaying that, because it's been so encouraging to me. To Matthew, we have had so many memories throughout the years with all the guys. I was the only girl for a while. But one specifically, a specific time that I remember was our time at Timber Creek together. That was so much fun to just see how caring you are, to serve beside you and just get to know you better. I mean, we spent every day together working on staff, cleaning, doing all the dirty work, and to just see how caring of a person you are. I know that you will care for Anna and love her so well. You're going to be an awesome, incredible leader as you serve the Lord with her and prepare her to meet her Savior one day. The best word that I can think of that describes both of you individually and together is intentional. Like Sarah was saying, it's just time with friends like you two are so valuable, because that time you use to further the kingdom. You're constantly checking in on specific things and praying for people and remembering the things that we've talked about in the past and bringing those up, and that just means so much. You're encouraging through the tough times, and you rejoice with people through the joyful times. But it's not a common occurrence to get to know a bride and groom so well, and it's been awesome to know you both individually before you started to pursue each other, or before Matthew started to pursue you, and to just see that how you've both been so obedient to your calling, to God's calling in your life. But then seeing Matthew, as they met, pursue Anna in such a Christ-centered and patient way was a beautiful picture of how the Lord gently pursues us. Seeing Christ's purity in Anna was a beautiful picture of how concerned she was about her plan for the Lord's plan for her life. She wanted more than anything to follow his will for her life, and that was so awesome. Even though it was a very patient thing, it wasn't something she just jumped into because she fell in love, like Mr. Harvey was saying. It was something that she pursued through Christ, and that was so encouraging to watch from the outside. But But everything about this relationship, like it's been said so many times, points to the gospel, and I know that tomorrow will do the same. And I'm so excited to get to be a part of that and see the celebration as y'all become one in Christ. You are in our prayers, and we are so excited to see how the Lord will use you to further his kingdom, because we know that together you'll be better than you ever would be apart. I'm excited for y'all. We love you.
I tried, Matthew. I'm sorry.
I'm David Evans. I'm Matthew's grandfather, and I'm sure he's scared I was going to say something. I know. But what I want to say is that I remember sitting down at Mike and Laura's one night, sitting around the table talking to Matthew and Anna for about an hour and a half. And I spent 30 years in the military and all over the world, so we had numerous conversations about that. I said, well, I guess she's all right. Anyway, she come up here, and they live not far from me. So what really endeared Anna to me was that they were going to Mike and Laura for Thanksgiving. Well, the day before Thanksgiving, she come to the house, and she brought muffins. And that made her my girl right there, let me tell you. I don't care what anybody else says, she's all right. Another thing I've got to say is, I know you're going to have kids, but kind of slow it down. I got 23 grandkids now. I can't afford Christmas presents for many more, okay? Anyway, guys, good luck. Nice. Glad to have you with us, Anna.
You escaped rather not that's pretty good.
Well, Matthew, here comes another grandparent. You know I've loved you since day one, from the day you was born. And I am so proud of the one accomplishment you've made in all the things that you've done in your life in athletic territory and your grades. I'm proud that you love the Lord like you do. And I am so proud that the Lord has led you to a girl who loves you loves the Lord as much as you do. And I know that he's going to take both of you and use you for his glory. And I just pray that y'all will stay on his track for the rest of your life. And he'll bless all your life together. And I love you both dearly.
Oh no. Do you see it? Do not touch. It says do not touch. Oh, do not All right. I'm Becca. I've known Anna for about 10 years or something like that. Got to kind of grow up with her and play basketball with her and homeschool with her. And she has just always been such a role model to me. Even just being kids and her only being a year older than me, I just instantly saw like her heart for the Lord and just how she pursued him and how she was just always in the Word. And it was just, I've always wanted to just be like Anna. And we'd all kind of like say that, like, oh, I wish I could be like Anna. And one of my favorite things about Anna is how she can make everyone feel so loved and so special and so included in everything that she does. And even seeing like her plan this wedding and just seeing how she's like just been so intentional to just love on everyone that she can. And she does know everyone, it seems like, no matter where we go, like it's like, oh, Anna runs into somebody. But my favorite time was I got the privilege to go to Kenya with Anna, and I think we were in like Segera or something, I don't know, we're in the middle of nowhere, nothing is in sight, we're walking down a dirt road. And this car comes, which is kind of a rare thing anyways, but this car comes by, and all of a sudden, like, somebody's like, Anna! And, like, somebody hops out of the car, and they're like, Anna! And they just have, like, this really sweet reunion, and I'm like, we're literally in the middle of the bush. How do you know somebody here? Like, this is just ridiculous. And she's like, oh, we, did this project together a couple years ago, just like, I'm like, all right, okay. And then when I first heard about Matthew, she called me. And for those of you who knew me in college, especially you, I did not skip classes. But Anna was like, so there's this boy. And I was walking to class probably the only class I skipped that semester because I was not about to miss this story. And I was like, all right. So she told me about Matthew and how she'd been kind of dating him, and I think you were trying to figure out if you should bring him to Becca's wedding or something like that. I can't really remember. And I was like, well, yes, obviously, yes, you should, for sure. And so then I met Matthew, and I kind of assumed at this point that you guys were going to get married because Anna had always said she wouldn't, get like in a relationship with anybody unless she was going to marry him. So I was like pretty confident. But really what put it over the top was I was like,
Fork in the pocket. That's a good one there. Oh, yeah. I knew those were going to be guys stand up sometime. Had to be at least one. I don't want to step through, Nate.
All right. Just want to first off just say congratulations to you guys, and we're so excited. We've all been waiting for this weekend, and it's going to be a great weekend, just glorifying the Lord and praising His name. I first just want to say too that just know that me and Lauren will always be fighting and praying for y'all in your marriage. We don't take that responsibility lightly. Stand up there with y'all tomorrow. That's an honor. So just know we'll always be fighting for you guys, and I know y'all do the same for us. But I just want to say a few things about each of you. Anna, I'm a big fan, girl, and no, I'm saying I'm a big fan of you, Anna. A big fan, not a fan girl. I can be a fan girl of you, Anna. And I'm not the biggest talkers. That's probably why I did. Yes. Come on, Luke. No, for Anna, I'm thankful for you and our friendship and yours with Lauren. And it didn't take me long to realize how awesome Anna was, and to call my boy Matthew up and let him know that there's a girl up here who's legit and loves the Lord, and you need her to get your tail up to state, because she's going to be off the market soon. But now, one of my favorite things about Anna, and it's already been said, is her heart. She just has a huge heart, and she loves the Lord and His people so well. And that's always encouraged me, and you sharpened me just watching you do that. You can just see by your actions and the decisions you make. So I know, just my prayers you continue to do that, and I know you're going to do that to Matthew, and Matthew, I know you're going to do the same for her, and together y'all going to love the Lord's kingdom so well, and that's going to be an amazing thing to see. Matthew, my boy, man, we've had so many good memories, so many good laughs, arguments, plenty of those together, but the thing I cherish the most is how we've spurred each other on to the cross throughout our whole friendship. I consider you a brother, man, and just to always have someone to keep me accountable, push me, sharpen me, grow me. I've grown closer to the Lord because of you. It's a beautiful thing to walk with someone for so long in their walk with Christ and carry each other's burdens. So I'm thankful to God for you and how He's placed you in my life throughout all these years, and will continue to do. But just one more thing with Matthew, and I can talk about this dude forever, but just with y'all in your marriage. Sorry. I sound a lot louder now. No, but Matthew, he's always been a leader, and everywhere he goes, he takes that role at some point, and it's always he always leads with Christ and at the center of it. And Anna, he's going to do that. He's going to do that with you in your marriage, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. And Matthew, my prayers is you keep seeking the Lord first and renewing your mind daily in the Word. And y'all wouldn't be doing this thing if you didn't see yourself further in the kingdom more together than apart. So it's going to be amazing to walk alongside you during this time, just as married couples now. So we're gonna still make it happen, though. That's it.
Mary Margaret just told me to be nice. That's why I opened this up.
So I'm Matthew, and this is Andrew. We were Matthew's roommates in college, and we feel we have a unique perspective to offer on Matthew and Anna's relationship and the process of Matthew pursuing Anna. I'm going to let Andrew lead.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of set the table, and we're going to kind of go back and forth. So there were two situations going on here. One, I got to state a year before they did. And so I was getting involved at BSU, and like I'm seeing people, and I'm like, man, we got to find Matthew a girl. And so I'm like, so I call him, all right? And I know Nate vaguely through Matthew, so this is not like, we didn't talk about this before. So I called Matthew, and I said, there's two girls up here, Sarah and Anna. I was like, they are legit. And like when you come up here, I just want you like have your eyes ready. Like you need to be on the radar, and we're gonna see if we can make this thing happen. So I told him this. Did that happen, Matthew? That did happen. All right, just making sure. And so then the next year they came up, and we all lived together for the first time. And there's more stories than we can tell about that.
So at this point when we get up here, Matthew is all gung-ho in the apartment about going to get Anna's number and going to talk to her, and he's ready. However, when we cross that threshold, reality starts to sink in, and we start to become unsure of exactly when we're gonna do these things we say. So we decide to help him a little bit, and Andrew does something.
Yeah, so every day before Matthew leaves, like I'm kind of running back and forth between here and Louisville, and so Matthew's hanging out with Katie and Anna and Nate and Lauren. They're like going to do group things, and Jed and Heather, they're all doing all these things. And so like this whole time, Matthew's gonna be like, I'm marrying that girl. Like, yeah, I'm marrying her. Like he's confident. He is like every bit as confident as y'all know like he is like when he's in a crowd. He's just that, 100%. 100% is confident. And so he's like, I'm getting her number today. And I'll be like, okay. So walks to the door. You get her number? So I was just like, we got to get this thing going. And everybody in the world, I think except those two, I don't know if they're that clueless, knew that Matthew liked her. And then she was like, I'm seeing how this goes. And so, so anyway, the BSU was signing up to work the Salvation Army bells at Kroger. And so I go up there and I'm like, Matthew can't get those girls' number, but I'm going to help him out. And so I had Anna's number from working BSU, so I'm like, Matthew Evans, working with Anna Matheny and Aaron Sanders. I signed him up. I put his number down. And so I get a text message later that week, like, hey, do you have Matthew's number? And I'm like, yes, I do. And so I had to help him out a little bit.
We all know the story from there. And so as this thing continues, it was just awesome to watch as two friends who saw it from the beginning and just saw Matthew cautiously pursuing Anna and wanting to be sure of every step he was taking. And it was just, as someone else as a friend who was just looking to find a way to do that as well, it was awesome to see that and to grow with you through that. And so I just want to say thank you, for being that example. And now, as it's all come together with marriage, I can't even express in words how thankful I am for you, Matthew, and your friendship and all of the late nights that we spent yelling at each other about Scripture and what this meant and what that meant. I don't know where I would be right now without those. And I just want you to know I'm going to take those with me for the rest of my life, no matter what happens. And I'm just so excited to see y'all finally get married after all of this, knowing that it's about Christ, knowing that was the heart of it at the very start. And I'm just so thankful for the both of you, and I'm excited.
I'm going to try to say something real quick. So me and Matthew's friendship started with rejection. Long story short, Miss Lori and my mom worked together long time ago. And so I'm going to EC, or I'm going to my second year at EC. I'm looking for a roommate, and I don't have any friends that I'm like, I want to live with. And so if you've noticed, me and Matthew Morris aren't in the forest party. Like, we're outsiders to this crew. And so we learned all the things that they do. Trial by fire. And so, but anyway, so I'm like, I need a roommate. And so mom's like, hey, my friend Miss Laura, she's got somebody coming up here. And so I somehow get his number, and I've heard vaguely of Matthew. I'm like, hey, you think you'd be interested in rooming? He's like, No. It's true. True. And so around Christmas of that year, I remember I had asked Matthew to lead Bible study on campus at their apartment. And a lot of things happened in that, but I remember going to the BSU. I have no clue why I did it. I called up Matthew, and we're just sitting there talking. And I told Matthew my life story. And then Matthew turns around and tells me his life story. And then we say, we're the same person. And that moment, I think I'll remember that moment to the day that I die. And if I could say anything good about Matthew, it's kind of hard sometimes. But you notice how many groomsmen he had up there? There's a lot of them. But every one of those guys wants to call Matthew Evans their best friend. Because every one of them has just been deeply impacted by the way you live your life. You've laughed, you've cried, you prayed, you've yelled at me, you argued with me, and I'm a better man because of you. So thank you, and you're getting a good one, Anna.
Can you see me? Yeah, okay. I'll be short and sweet, I hope. I'll just start off with Matthew. Matthew, first off, just thank you for the car rides that we used to have back in high school. That's we grew up together, but this brotherhood that we have, it all started with those car rides with you. Honestly, I think you saw me like walking home one time. You said, "Hey man, you want to ride?" I was like, "Yeah." I live right down the road too. I was lazy, but I'm super thankful for those, and that led up to so much more going into college. Like, I knew that I had a really good friend in you, and that was a time that I had just accepted the Lord. I was coming from high school into college, and I wasn't really being lit. I didn't have any spiritual leadership in my life, and you are just one of the guys that took me under your wing and like showed me what it was to be a man of faith, to live a life that was worthy of the gospel, like live my life pursuing the Lord and telling others about Him. And I'm so thankful that that all started with just those car rides, dude. There's so much more that I could say about that, but like I said, I'm gonna try to be short and sweet. Anna, thank you for your friendship. I know we're not like, the best of friends or anything, but I'm just being truthful. Y'all laugh. Anyway, I'm super grateful that you are in Matthew's life. Stop touching my butt. Seriously, what's going on back here, man? But I knew this was gonna be awkward as soon as I stood up. But Anna, I don't know how to express this, but if you haven't met the argumentative side of Matthew, you're about to. That's one of my most favorite parts about Matthew, is that the smallest thing sets him off. And if there's one thing I love to do is like push those buttons. So if you need any help with those, let me know. But I love you guys so much, and I'm so glad for y'all's lives, and that it exemplifies the gospel, and that's what y'all want this whole thing to be about. And I'm so grateful for that, and I pray that y'all's lives will continue to do that. And like Nathan said, we're all of us, we're all here fighting for you guys, and that won't ever stop up until we draw our last breaths. We're gonna be fighting for you guys, and I love y'all.
I'm gonna get out of this crowd over here. Hey Matthew, dude, you get married, man, that's kind of cool. Dude, every time I get bored at work, I call Matthew and we talk about weddings and fantasy football and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. But man, my name is Brady. I've known Matthew since we were like knee-high to a caterpillar or something like that. Grasshopper, yeah, Zach got me grasshopper. Zach got me. I stole that saying from Zach. I thought I had it right. I guess I did. But anyway, well, I've known Matthew for a long time, and I think my mom's here. She can attest to this. Miss Ramona, you can attest to this too. But growing up was kind of hard because we were all held to the standard of Matthew because Matthew is so freaking smart, and I know every time I came home and I took a test, I had to tell what I made, then I had to tell what Matthew made. And so it kind of go like that. I come home, I take a test, and Mom be like, "What'd you make?" And then I'm like, "Well, 75." Well, and then what Matthew make? Well, like 94. So she didn't take that too good. But then the good times were when I came home and I told her I made like a 77. What'd Matthew make? 79. Well, that must have been a hard test. So. Well, man, and now we were kind of every time we hung out, it was all it kind of remembers me of Drew's rehearsal dinner. It was always okay to go somewhere when we were little if Matthew was going to be there. We always had to make sure Matthew was going to be there and it was going to be okay. But I say that, and it's really kind of cool now because Matthew always brought out the most out of everybody. He was such an encourager. He was such a freaking competitor, and that just brought out to everybody. And I forgot what I was going to say next. That's on. But Matthew's been my friend for like a long time, and he's been such an encourager. And I mean, you're gonna be with him just for a long freaking time, I hope. And so I feel like I got a pretty good feeling what it's like to be a good friend of Matthew's. I just want you to know he's an awesome friend, and you have nothing to worry about. And just like I said, he was such an encourager. I mean, I've lived with him basically my whole college career, and you had to move to Memphis to get away from me. That's kind of sad, but it was just awesome that every time I walked into my apartment or my dorm, I'd wake up to go to 8 o'clock class, and Matthew's just sitting there just like digging in the Word, and that's just such an encouraging thing to see, and I know that helped my walk with Christ a whole lot more just to see my best friend set that awesome godly example. But I remember the first time I met Anna. It was pretty cool. And I had never met you before. I heard Matthew talk about you, and then he came in the apartment. He's like, "Bro, guess what I'm doing tonight?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "I'm going to go play tennis with Anna Matheny." And I was like, "Oh!" So we were excited about that. And then I think I actually went with him and got to meet you. And as soon as I met you, I was like, "Yeah, that's Matthew's match made in heaven." So, but I say that to you, Anna. I'm glad I get to, Matthew's like a brother to me, and I feel like I'm getting a sister out of you. And just know, and your parents have nothing to worry about. Matthew's a great encourager and a great friend, and y'all are going to have an awesome marriage. So.
Hello. For those who don't know me, my name is Reagan Harden. I'm the maid of honor's younger sister. Anna started off being my older sister's best friend, but I kind of thought she was cool, so I tried to steal her. And she and I developed our own friendship. And I could go on and on about all the things that make Anna such a special friend, but one thing that, Sarah was writing her speech on the way up here and was crying the whole way, and I was like, "You've got to hold it together. We're not even there yet." But one thing that I just kept thinking about was all the times that I was so discouraged in my walk with Christ. And I would go to Anna, and Anna would give me grace when I was unable to give grace to myself. And she would say, "Reagan, you can do this. Pick your head up. I'm fighting for you. You can do this." Anna's such a good encourager and lover of her friends. And at the time, I didn't realize how rare that was, that someone could know the deepest, darkest sins that you've committed in your past and what you're struggling and fighting through and love you despite all that. I didn't realize how rare that was. Hello. So I just want to thank you, Anna, for being such a good friend to me. I remember when Matthew got to Mississippi State, y'all made him sound like a scrub, like he was this guy desperately trying to get the girl. But let me tell you, there were 8 girls trying to get Matthew. I'm actually not kidding. There were I can count 5 right now, some of whom are in this room, that were after that boy. I'm not going to call them out because I might mess up some marriages, but Anyway, Matthew walks onto the scene. Matthew walks onto the scene at Mississippi State. He's got this nappy head of curls. He's really athletic, and he loves Christmas. And all of a sudden, there's like 9 girls who love Christmas, and we got together and we formed this group called the Christmas Loving Squad, and we made a group me. That's when group me first got off the ground, and we had a group me together called the Christmas Loving Squad, and there were some of us involved who were literally there for the Matthews, because there was Morris and Evans, and but I remember, checking the group me if Matthews, plural, liked the messages, somebody be there. So we did a lot of things together, and that's how we kind of got to know Matthew. But we all quickly realized that Matthew had eyes for one girl only, and that was Anna. And we all kind of knew it a long time before she did, and we were like, Anna, Matthew Evans is kind of cute. And she's like, I don't know, Kenya, I'm going to Kenya next semester. And so I remember when she told Matthew that she was going to Kenya, I think he was like, crap, I almost had this girl, and she's going to go across the world, but dang, she's going for a good reason. And I remember knowing Matthew that semester and then the following semester, and then seeing him come back after Anna got back from Kenya, and Matthew had grown leaps and bounds over that summer. I remember him coming back, and I was like, Matthew, what's gotten into you? You seem like a whole different person. He was like, I don't know, God's really challenged me this summer, and I honestly believe that God was preparing him to be able to pursue a girl like Anna. And I want y'all to know that what I take away from your relationship is just a godly pursuit of a godly woman from a godly man. And that has kind of ruined all men for me, because there's not a lot of Matthew Evans in the world. You're kind of a unicorn. So I just want you to know that you're not a scrub. You're a cool guy. And it's a really rare thing to have this many people be impacted by a relationship. And I cannot wait for y'all to be married, and 10 years down the road, and I bring home some scrub, and y'all like, you know what? He's not good enough. Or, you know what? This guy loves you the way he's supposed to. So I'm so excited for y'all to enter this new phase and be able to offer wisdom back to me one day. And so I can't wait to dance at the reception tomorrow. Anyway.
All right, so as everybody knows, my name is Drew Evans. I am the favorite grandchild, favorite son, favorite everything. No, it's pretty cool just to get to hear all these cool stories about Matthew and Anna, and especially on my side, Matthew. Definitely the cool thing is he's my brother. And, yep, that one knew that was coming. You mean a lot to me, Matthew, and I don't even know how to say words. I had this whole speech in my head, now it just went out the drain. But I just remember us in a 1998 blue F-150 with pipes, and we would ride up and down the street together, going to baseball, football practice, and I remember sitting on or standing on the mound pitching, and a lot of these guys can testify. You can hear Matthew, all right, come on, Drew, you got it, man, you got next pitch. And I'm just think about those days, us throwing in the yard and different things, and I'm going to miss those days. I miss them now. I wish I was about 100 pounds lighter too, and had hair, but to encourage both of you guys, one of my favorite verses is, to be still and know that He is God. And I noticed when I got married in March, and just different things throughout life, you get busy with work, with other things in life, and sometimes it's pretty easy to get away from Christ. I mean, let's just admit it. We've all been there. And sometimes it's cool just to sit back and let's just be still and know that He is God and everything's under control. And I think Matthew's heard me say this 6,000 times, but one of my favorite sayings is, no matter how far you get away from His love always goes deeper. So there's nothing in this world that you can do, or how far you get away from Christ. If you get away from His word, His love always goes deeper. He's always there urging you, ready for you, ready to come home. That just speaks volume to me. To Anna, I'm so glad He found you, because I thought Matthew's boat was floating upstream, if you know what I mean. So Yeah. A lot of people probably didn't get that joke, but I wasn't going to try to say it. But no, I love Matthew. I'm just picking. But we're so glad to have you in the family. I know Mom's glad to have 2 daughters now and everything. So me and Kelsey are always here for you, for both of you guys, and we love you so much. And I know it's probably 10:10. I think we're probably about to wrap it up. I know, but is anybody else? Okay, right there.
Well, Matthew is the type of guy with whom I would like to be brothers. He is a guy who's fun to be around. He's easy to talk to. He's genuine, and he cares a lot about people. But he's way more than that. Once I really started talking to him, I began to see that he's a guy who not only loves people really well, but loves Jesus. He's someone who lives with purpose, someone who serves, and someone whose life has been taken over by and is modeled after Jesus, the ultimate conquering king. And I remember finding out after having known him for over a year that he was a Mississippi high school state champion quarterback. I've known him over a year, and you know, I'd had discussions with him and about all types of things, and he never mentioned that to me. So he demonstrated the fact that what is and what isn't important in his life had been changed radically. He isn't just a guy who'd make a good brother and husband. He is my brother in Christ, and he has been long before he and Anna started dating. He was my brother. He's an awesome role model, and I love hanging out with him and learning from him. And as I learned more about him, I saw that I wanted to be more than just a spiritual brother to him, but his brother-in-law. And he treats my sister better than anyone who's ever pursued her, and there are lots of those guys. And the reason is obvious from what all of you have heard tonight, and not all of you know Anna, but just she's my best friend. I'm gonna let you look at her while I say this, because she's beautiful as well. But she's my best friend. She has a heart for people, but not just because it's her personality. It's because Jesus has changed her life. She hasn't always been so deeply involved with ministry and just intentionality with others. Jesus changed her heart supernaturally, and she has just learned to be used by him more and more. And she's taken. I've seen different little steps of faith that she's taken, and God blows those little steps of faith up into huge impacts, international impacts, and ones that she has no idea that she's made. And I've always known that it's gonna take a pretty incredible guy to not only keep my expectations or meet my expectations for my sister, but also her standards. And Matthew definitely does that. And so Matthew, you're not concerned with the affairs of this world, but your mind is set on God's kingdom and his righteousness. You've been transformed by him and lead others around you to follow in his footsteps. And you and Anna are united in those characteristics. And as you've talked about your purpose in marriage with Anna, I've grown more and more thankful for you and that God has given you to her. And I'm thankful to have met you, blessed to be your brother in Christ. blown away that God has given you to my sister and stoked to see what God does with you guys together. I couldn't ask for a better man with whom to entrust and leave my sister. Keep your eyes fixed on Jesus and imitate him daily, both in your personal walk and your relationship with Anna, and you will lack nothing. I love you. I love you.
There have been a lot of great stories tonight, and I've been really happy to hear a lot of them, or really all of them, I guess. But a lot of them start with the line or include the line, you know, when I first met Anna. But, you know, I think that Lamar and I are the only two people in this room that can say that, that we don't have a conscious memory where we didn't know you. And that's pretty cool. No, but I remember, you know, some of my first memories are playing with toys or with the dress-up closet with Anna, or not taking a nap when Mom told us to. Regretfully, I also remember the time that we were forced to eat pimento cheese sandwiches against our will, and you know, so some are good memories and others are not. But you know, also we've all talked about too Anna's love for the Lord and how great that is, and it has been great and inspiring even for me as your older brother. I've been inspired a lot by that. I've also been really jealous and envious of that when I allow myself to try to compare myself to you. So I obviously appreciate your example through all of that, and realize that the jealousy is my crap and not yours. So I don't hold that against you. But the rivers of grace run deep, and aren't we glad about that? And and how great it is that marriage is going to be your opportunity to display that to each other. Because there will be plenty of opportunities to display grace to each other. And obviously we're all happy that we can be here as your cheerleaders and as your friends to be on your team through that. We know whatever God has in store for you and wants to do through you together for his kingdom, that you guys are together greater than a sum of your parts. And we're just so thankful to be part of that. And obviously I thank all of you for being a part of their story and being part of their friendship, developing that and nurturing that when he was a scrub and she was the queen, or vice versa, whichever is true. Just thank you guys, and really happy for y'all and Christmases and Thanksgiving from here to come. So thank you.
Okay, I have a lot of things that I could say, but most of it would be incriminating to myself, so I'm going to not say those and be real quick. Anna, I talked to you today, so because they're waiting to lock up, Matthew, I'm just going to direct my thoughts to you. The first time that I met you, even though you don't remember it, I remember saying, this guy is special. And I actually went home and told Nathan, I said, I need to introduce you to this Matthew Evans guy because he's going to be a rock star. And somewhere throughout that first semester, every Wednesday morning, we would argue over who was the better quarterback, Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. Or we would rush to see the hype video because it was 2014 and we went #1 in the nation for 5 weeks in a row. And then one day I looked up and you happened to be the little brother that I never had. And I remember when y'all finally got together and started kind of talking, Molly sent me a text and she said, what do you think about Anna's man? And I looked for the text and I couldn't find it, but I believe that my words were, if I could handpick anybody for Anna, it would be Matthew. And so we are so excited for you guys. I'm so excited that this day has finally arrived. And before we leave, Nathan and I have a little gift for you guys. We had no idea that Jed and Heather had a little performance for you guys. But so they kind of beat us to the punch, but we're going to go out and, I don't know, we'll let you guys decide, which one's better.
Ours is probably better, but we just sound whiter. So, yeah.
clearly we're kicking your tails right now. So,
All right, Skinny T, A Tizzle here. Got you a little treat.
we got some tricky rhymes, but we only got one beat, so. There was a boy named Matthew who was really, really cool. He fell in love with Anna, and boy, she made him drool.
She was always on the go. She never was around. He couldn't make his move, so he couldn't make a sound.
He's a really patient man, and she made him wait a while, but he finally broke her down with his debonair style.
He took her on a date amongst many trees. She flashed that big old smile, and it took him to his knees.
He was attracted to her eyes, her smile, and her hips, but all he wanted to do was kiss her on the lips.
After months of hanging out and going on some dates, he knew he wanted more, so he put up all the stakes. We practiced a lot.
He mustered up his courage and he got down on one knee. Said, girl, I gotta have you, will you please marry me?
No one was surprised when she would say yes. We all got together to celebrate. Bet!
Now the time has come for her to be your bride. For Evans and forever, she'll be by your side.
Once the party's done and she's attached to your hip,
it's time to do more than kiss her on the lips.
this is where we leave you. Hope you liked our show. We've imparted all we can. It's time to say, let go!
All right, we are pushing for time, so real quick, the video here, and then we'll get ready to dismiss.